Welcome. This is Back to the Bins. I'm your host, Mr. B. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you've been here before, thanks so much for coming back, and if you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. This is a comic book collecting channel, and I'm a comic collector. These Sunday videos are intended to showcase the books I picked up this past week at my local comic shop. I've got a pull list, so I'm fairly knowledgeable with what's happening today in comics. I also love digging through the dollar bins and digging through those back issue bins. So if that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to join me on my journey back to the bins, why don't you take a look over here and I'll show you what I picked up. All right, and like I said, these are the books I picked up this past week at my local comic shop, 204 Comics in Winnipeg, and as per usual, we start in alphabetical order, which also takes us to the dollar bins. That's right, folks, got this iconic cover in the dollar bins. This is Alpha Flight number 17 from December of 1984. This is the Canadian edition. Of course, we got John Byrne doing the cover, also doing the interiors, also doing the writing. Chris Claremont doing the writing as well. And I just couldn't say no to this iconic cover. Look at that. As a Canadian, this is great to see. Always nice to see Canadians represented in comics. Cool stuff right there. Love that. Nice addition. Not an Alpha Flight collector per se, but, you know, an iconic photo or an iconic cover like that couldn't be resisted. All right, and then getting to the pulls, here we've got, of course, The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 56. That's a John Romita Jr. cover, of course. This is legacy number 950. 50 more issues. What is it, like 2 years and a little bit until Spider-Man hits 1,000. Fantastic. Not a bad cover. This is a thick book. We'll see. Saw some good reviews on it. And as per usual with The Amazing Spider-Man, also comes some cool variant covers right here. We've got, again, for The Amazing Spider-Man, number 56. This is the Pablo Villalobos variant. Big fan of his work. Love it. Love this. Love the reverse of The Amazing Spider-Man. You know, in the window, even Mary Jane, silhouette. Spider-Man looks great. Love this cover. Beautiful stuff. 950 issues. Another icon, and look at this cover. I could not resist this. Luckily, I've been reading this. It's been a pretty fun book. This is Captain America number 12. And Felipe Massafara variant. This is going to be the last issue for me. This has been a fun book, but I'm just wanting to dig into other things, wanting to kind of pinch a few pennies here to go somewhere else. I really love this cover nonetheless. This is a nice way to end my Captain America run. I would recommend this. Probably be able to get this in trade already, most of it or some of it. Yeah, really cool cover. Beautiful looking cap. Amazing. Heading over to DC Comics, something that I don't collect, but when I saw this on League of Comic Geeks, I thought that's a beautiful cover. I got to get it just for the cover. This is Detective Comics number 1088, 1088. An Evan Cagle cover. Ram V writing. This is the first appearance of Arzin Orgham from Earth Zero. Now, because I'm not reading this, I have no idea who that is. Forgive me. But we'll put up a picture of him somewhere. And love this. Mr. Freeze on the cover. Super cool. Kind of, with the snow globe, kind of a Christmas theme, if you will. Might be something I throw out at Christmas time for people to look at. Cool book. Love it. Here we go. Back over to Marvel. One of the best comics out there right now. And has been consistently. This is, of course, the Fantastic Four. This is issue number 24. Alex Ross doing the main cover. I think this is the last one for Alex Ross. Maybe forever, maybe just for a little while. I'm not entirely sure. This book is just so good. The last issue was fantastic. Pardon the pun. But yeah, I would highly recommend this. People, do not sleep on this. This has already been going on for 2 years, and it's been quality from the get-go. Love it. And because I'm such a fan of the Fantastic Four, I gotta get a variant cover. I thought this was awesome. Again, issue number 24, but this is a Tom Riley variant. Really love the way they look on this. I love its simplicity. I love how each member of the four is kind of in layers. I like all of that. Johnny's mustache, though. I mean, it's pretty funny. Great book. Totally go get it if you don't already read it. Something I haven't read yet. This is the final issue. Just a 4-issue series. This is Gotham City Sirens number 4. This is the Ji Hyung Lee cardstock variant. Been mainly collecting this for the covers because I love what Ji Hyung Lee has done with these images. The girls for this just look fantastic. I'm into it. Pretty cool. I love a good cover, and these ones have delivered. So is this a book I can't give up for some reason? There's no bad reason here. It's just I wanted to move on. This is Green Arrow number 15. I said I was going to stop at 12, but these great covers kept coming down the pipeline. And then once you read the story, it's like, yeah, why would I give this up? This is a Torrin Clark cardstock variant, but I am getting close to the end of the run. Absolutely. I know there's another great cover coming up after this one, and then there's issue number 350, at least in the sort of legacy world of DC. So 350, pretty big milestone. Maybe I'll stop there, depending on whether or not the cover after is as good. I'm not too sure. It's tough being a cover collector, folks, especially in this day and age with all the great artists. But man, so cool. Okay, and now this is a book. I'm in love with this comic book. This is fantastic. This is Grommets number 4. Brett Parson doing the cover. This I really would call this, for my limited knowledge and my recent re-emergence into comics, I think this is a masterpiece. I love it, and maybe it's because I resonate with the characters and the time to some degree. Excuse that. But this is still an absolutely amazing book. The art is superb. It's just kids living their lives in the 1980s doing all of the foolish and fun things that kids do and kids did and kids don't do anymore. So good. I love this. I can't wait. This is a 7-issue series. I think it's probably going to win Book of the Year for me.
What?
All right. Here's another comic that absolutely floored me. Issue number 1 was fabulous. I love this. This is Hello Darkness number 2, a Tula Lote variant. I don't know who Tula Lote is, but their art style amazes me. I love this. This was a page from inside issue number 1. I love that they turned it into a cover. Yeah, this is one of the best books I've read this year, and maybe in the last 2 years since I started collecting comics again. I think this is just good, creepy horror stuff. It's fun, and it's an anthology series, so there's all kinds of different stories being told, and great covers. Well, I guess speaking of milestones, we could call this a milestone as well. This is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 40. And this is, of course, the Werther del Idera main cover. Iconic series, definitely celebrating here at number 40. There's actually going to be an issue 0 coming out soon, I think in the next couple of months, detailing things that happened prior to issue number 1. I'm sure that's going to be a big seller. Great book. Love the artwork. Super cool. Here's another great cover and a book that I'm having fun reading. This is Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider, issue number 4. Again, a Ji Hyung Lee variant here. Love to see Ji Hyung's work getting represented throughout my pulls. This has been a fun book. Found out it's an ongoing, and so I'm probably gonna drop it at some point. It's been fun. I thought this was a limited series, which was why I picked it up. Everything that I've had so far featuring Spider-Gwen has been a limited series, so I kind of thought this was going to be the same thing. And as much as it's fun and I love Spider-Gwen, she's a new character to me, again, I just want to investigate different comics and other things, so we're going to drop this one at some point. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be at 5 or 10. Again, if the covers continue to be great like these ones, well, then that's going to be up in the air. This was a series that kind of surprised me a little bit. I wasn't expecting to like the first issue as much as I did, which is cool because I'm a big Star Wars fan, and as much as I'm a big fan of Star Wars, I haven't watched a lot of the series. Did not watch Ahsoka, but I am somewhat familiar with her. But this was a great comic. Issue 1 was fun. This is the Yellow Fly variant. This is issue number 2. Yeah, so far so good. We'll see what happens, but nonetheless, I mean, this cover is absolutely gorgeous. This painted, I love it. The white is such a perfect contrast. It's very minimal, but the image itself is striking. Man, and Rosario Dawson, she will never not be associated with this character. So cool. Here's another one of my favorite books. Really love reading this one. This is Ultimate X-Men, number 6. This is the Peach Momoko variant. I tell you every time she does the main cover and then she does a variant, and I've been picking up the variants. I love Peach Momoko and I love a good variant cover, so this is like 2 birds, 1 stone, and I'm so happy. And then on top of it, the icing is that the book itself is great. The story is so much fun. I love everything about this. Great book. Here's one I was definitely anticipating this week, as the Universal Monster series that's been coming out the last 6 or 7 months has been really impressive. And of course, this is Universal Monsters Frankenstein number 1. That's the Joshua Middleton variant. Been looking forward to this, like I said. Just finished reading Creature from the Black Lagoon. That was a bit of a modern take, a part 2, if you will. Of course, Dracula started the whole thing, which was a really great, creepy look from a different side of the classic Dracula tale. And now here we have Frankenstein. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to just kind of be a different view of the film that we all know and love, or if this is going to be who knows, but I can't wait to read it. But like I said last week and the week before, I'm so far behind with my pulls and reading. Who knows? Might be Christmas time when I get to that. But I do have holidays coming up over the Christmas holidays, and then I'm really going to pour into the 2024 list that I haven't been able to get to week to week. All right, so then we end things off here with William of Newbury, number 4. Michael Avon Oeming doing the writing, doing the interiors, doing the cover. This is the final issue, and I've had a lot of fun with this book. Medieval, sorcery, the church, the clergy, animal people. It's been a lot of fun, and I would recommend this if this comes out in some trade. I love the artwork. It's painted. It's kind of like watercolor, almost like Peach Momoko. But yeah, I have really loved this book, and should be fun to see where it leaves and ends. All right, that's it. So how about we get back to the real world, shall we? Well, that was a great stack of books. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw, and if you did, why don't you like, comment, and subscribe? It really helps to push that algorithm out and into the universe, and I'd really love to develop a community of people who just really love comics. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you next week, and until then, remember, comics are good.